and we will have to walk. You can see the two soldiers that are heading to the ceremony. I hope that this time they will let me enter with a camera and it won't be a private ceremony, because last year it wasn't. But last year I didn't take a picture of it, a video of it. You can see Mount of Olives in front of you. The Ascension Church is there, and this is the Jewish cemetery from the time of King David until now. But I want you to look at that. Can you see the tent? Remember the 34 Jews who've been buried in the old city? That is the burial site, and in 11 a.m. you will hear 2 minutes of siren, and the ceremonies will begin all over, and it will begin there as well. Meanwhile, you can see part of the Temple Mount. It was built by King Herod. This is Al-Aqsa Mosque, which wasn't built by King Herod. The Temple Mount is a very important place because the foundation stone is there, the first rock ever. And some of the stories happen on top of it. For example, King Solomon was asked by God to build a temple there, and then the temple of King Herod was there too. Then this is the house of God, and this is a huge difference between a synagogue to a church. Every church is a house of God. A synagogue is not a house of God. Today it's a house of prayer, but the house of God is there. And then you will see the Dome of the Rock, the place that according to tradition Muhammad ascended into heaven, but for the Jews it's the house of God. I think now you can understand the tension between Muslims and Jews. Why the Christians are not worried? Why for them the Temple Mount is not so important? Because remember, every church is a house of God, but for the Jews it's the only house of God. Are you ready to see one of the most beautiful landscape of the Western Wall? Guess what? Eyal is still here. Let me kick him away. I don't want to disturb Eyal. I will stand a little bit further than that. Yeah, I will be able to be part of the ceremony. You can see here Mount of Olives and the corner of the southern and the western wall of the temple. Al-Aqsa Mosque, according to Muslims, Muhammad came to Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is a far, far away mosque, and he went all the way to the foundation stone, ascended into heaven. But the foundation stone, which is Dome of the Rock of today, for the Jews is the only important place, because this is the house of God himself. The wooden bridge is the only option for non-Muslims to climb that, to enter to the Temple Mount. You can do it twice a day, not including Friday and Saturday and Muslim holidays. But you cannot go into the Temple Mount. You cannot go into the Dome of the Rock. But you can make a round tour. I do have so many videos about it. Let's enter to the Western Wall through the barrier area. I won't be able to take a picture of it, but they will check everything that you have. Then they will scan your bags and your body as well. Then let me enter. There are lots of rules how to behave in the Western Wall. Then shorts is, for men it's everything is okay. For women it's less. No drums, no musical instruments. You cannot light candles there. It's not a picnic area. And I will stop the video for a minute. All right, 40 minutes. Wow. Then I'm here at the Western Wall. Let me ask you, Masha עכשיו? Sorry. Let me see, what's the time now? Because it's 11 o'clock. סליחה, Masha, what's the time now?
It's 10:25.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we do have time. Then can we talk about the Western Wall? I already talked a little bit about it. The Western Wall is is a foundation wall that King Herod built to build a plaza, and on top of the plaza, he could build the Jewish quarter, the Jewish temple that was between 2 to 3 times higher and bigger than the Dome of the Rock. The foundation stone is so small, and that's why he had to build that plaza, and now the Muslims are using it. 7 stones from down to up is from the time of King Herod. Then if you're a Christian, Jew, Muslim, when you will enter there, you will be able to touch history. Everyone can go there 24 hours a day, except yesterday. A few things that are you will see only today. The first one, oh, you can see, well, we have to see that. They're switching. One of them is from the Navy, and the other one is from Air Force. I'm crying now. Because I didn't understand, or we still don't understand, that killing people is totally not necessary in every place in the world, not only in Israel and Palestine, in Ukraine, in Russia, every place in the world, most of the. And here you can see the name of some of the 24,000 people who actually died. That's Cohen, priest from priest family. And to the left you can see the word Yizkor, remember. Every person who died all over the world because of, I call it a war crime, because every war is a crime for me. Although from time to time people believe that there are no other option. It is so sad because he's not only dying, his family dies with him. And it doesn't matter if he was a good person, a bad person, and still it makes me so sad. Then you can see that the flag is not on top. This is part of the memorial in Israel. And soldiers are here for, I think, for 15 minutes or half an hour. It's not easy, especially when it's quite hot. Let me ask them if it's... תחלופה זה כל חצי שעה או רבע שעה? 20 דקות. Every 20 minutes. Then you are... I think now we can understand why that tour is a little bit political, because it's a Memorial Day. It's a Memorial Day, and I will be, not everyone will be happy to hear it. It's a Memorial Day for the Jordanian soldiers who died here, the Arabs who died here, because war, it's always conflict of two parts. Yes, it is true that we had no other choice here in Israel, but did we reach any agreement? Yes, with the Jordanians we did. From the 80s I can visit Jordan, but a few days ago a parliament Jordanian member, I'm talking about a member of the parliament of Jordan, tried to sneak into Israel with hundreds of pistols. He wanted to deliver it to the to the Hamas terror organization, life is not so easy. Then we will continue. If it's still okay by you, and if you don't hate me for that kind of tour, you can see that bucket. We are purifying the hands when we enter to holy site. And for everyone, usually when you will arrive to Israel, it's going to be hot. Please refill your bottles and drink as much as you can. To enter, you have to put a yarmulke on your head. A yarmulke, another word for it, it's a kippah, will divide us from him. The Jews are praying straight to God. We don't need a priest or rabbi for that. Then there's always a stand next to it, and if you will touch it, you can see that people didn't use it. Then here it is, a new kippah. I'm bringing it back mainly because I do have hundreds like that in my house, and until I will bring all of them back, I have no permit to enter with another one, and I need to do that. I will be here at 11 o'clock for the siren of 2 minutes, but meanwhile, let's visit a little bit the place. Remember, just like the children schools, the Jews, most of them are divided men and women. Then this is the men's section. Sadly, I cannot enter to the women's section, but let me show it to you. That's the women's section. That's the ugly wooden bridge that non-Muslims can enter through it to the temple. Remember, 7 stones from down to up is from the time of Jesus. You look at the beautiful stones. He didn't use cement. And you see there's a gap between each stone. And look at the frame. And I don't want to talk now. You saw the notes that people are living at the Western Wall. It's wishes that everyone wants to wish to God. The minute it touch the Western Wall, they cannot throw it to the garbage. Even the one that falls to the ground, they will collect it at least twice a year, and they will bury it at Mount of Olives. I might cut that part of the video because now it's already 50 minutes. Part of the Western Wall because of the memorial site might be part of a long video, and part of Amen. And part that's a Kaddish. I'm not supposed to talk at that part. This is the hidden part of the Western Wall. At 11 o'clock, as I believe, will be some Orthodox Jews that won't stand for 2 minutes because they see Israel as a different place, a different thing. It wasn't established by God, it was established by the Zionists, and in that case, they don't even think about the one who actually fell to protect themselves. It's air conditioned in summertime and cool in winter time, warm in winter time, but only men can be here. Although here, Orthodox women can enter, but regular women, like my tourists, cannot. This is part of a bridge that King Herod built, that brought the aqueduct from the upper city outside Jerusalem to the temple. And this is an arches that vault that were built by the Muslims. The Muslims, thank God, didn't destroy the ancient evidence. They just built arches on top of it, and then they built that Muslim quarter on top of it. Then what left for us to do is to excavate beneath the Muslim quarter and to reach every part of the Western Wall. Let me show you another part that most of the tourists are not aware of it. Then that's why it's a little bit empty today, because the Jews the ultra-Orthodox who are against Memorial Day try not to be here. It's difficult to see, but there's another 12 meters of the Western Wall. And the light shows us the floor from the 1st century. "50 minutes of, I think, a very important detail tour. I think you know a lot about the Jewish quarter and the old city of Jerusalem and the Western Wall. I'm sure that there are more to say, but this is my time to rest before the memorial. Oh, look at the birds. Where are you? Ah, here you are. Are they fighting or they're trying to mate? Look at that one. That's why I'm not going to move from here. Then thank you for being with me, and see you at my next video. Bye bye.